not really on holidays, and some of us are not here on Fridays. And let's just say most of the time we're here Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. You can count on us almost all the time. But whether we're on air or not, we're going to do like the song said. We're going to still fight for you. And sitting across from me in his own virtual studio in a bunker somewhere is none other than Bishop Dwayne David Royster.
And sitting across from me is the Reverend Dr. Mark Kelly Tyler.
And holding it down for us to make sure that everything goes well on this morning and to make sure that we don't just completely blow through commercials is none other than the queen herself, Kawesa.
Good morning.
Good morning, Kawesa. How are you today?
Doing okay. Doing okay.
Doing okay.
Yeah.
Just okay? It's,
Yeah,
okay.
Yesterday was a little rough for me, but you know what? I'm not going to dwell in that. And I am here today. It is a new day, and I'm going to have a new positive attitude for the day. So, yeah.
I hear you. Well, how was your journey in this morning?
So, there is a lot of traffic now. I'm starting to see a buildup of traffic, even, this early in the morning. Lots of trucks usually for me this early in the morning. So whether it's trucks or school buses, but yeah, today it was a lot of trucks. Amazon was out there. They were really out there this morning. The weather, it's just warm. It's summer. So it's like kind of muggy. I don't know really everything that's going on. I just, it's muggy and it's kind of warm. It's just, it's not super pleasant, but it's not raining right now, so that's good. But it looks like the heavens could open up at any moment. So
I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a theory about Tuesday morning traffic during the summer. That the reason it's so heavy is that people took Monday off, and now they're coming back on Tuesday and getting ready for work. And so this is them driving back early in the morning.
It's probably a good theory. Yeah.
Well, I didn't, I was, when we moved here in the area in '03, so we've been in like the Philly area since '03, which is hard to believe, almost 20 years now. So like the first few years, Leslie and I really just didn't understand the whole everybody goes to the shore for the summer thing. So like it would just be like all of a sudden the streets would be empty and we were just like wondering like where is everybody?
Mm-hmm.
It's not like they give you an orientation pamphlet, or it's not like, Philadelphians are the most helpful people when it comes to that. It's like, yeah, you'll figure it out. You know what I mean? Like nobody said like this is what happens in the summer. Find you a place at the shore because it's kind of what happens. And yeah, I remember when I went to Macedonia AME in '04. I got there. I was appointed to the church late June, so I was surprised. As August rolled around, the officer said, "Hey, Rev, so we'll see you after Labor Day. We know you're taking vacation for the month of August." I'm like, I just got a sign. Like I've been here like 30 days. I gotta take a month-long vacation. Don't worry, Rev. It's okay. Go on, wherever you're gonna go. It's what happens here. And I'm like, no, you can't just go, bro. Everybody was going that Sunday.
Like, you in church by yourself, huh?
Well, I may as well do like they said when in Rome.
Mm-hmm.
It is a real phenomenon out here. It is not like that on the West Coast. People don't vacation in the same ways because it's kind of like well, we don't really do the beach in Northern California, but the weather is not such where it's like there's never a time that you're going to have to be driven inside for 3 or 4 months.
Right. Yeah.
So
I mean, it's actually interesting in northern New England, in the United Church of Christ congregations, which were the Plymouth congregations, they generally close July and August because people are not anywhere to be found. So they just shut down.
They just shut it down?
They just shut it down.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, man, it is, I've grown to appreciate it. I love it now. And I had no problem like finding a place to roll for the summer. But it is, like I said, again, it takes some getting used to if you're not from this part of the world. And it kind of stretches from the top of the country. The East Coast is it's a different place, bro. Weekends on the beaches. I'm just telling you, literally, like the West Coast does not flow like this.
Yes. Well, I mean, like you said, it's a different temp. It's a moderate temp, and it doesn't It doesn't flow the same way that the East Coast does. We are a different breed here.
But I love it. I've adapted. I've adapted to it, bro.
You
Believe that.
I mean, it's actually funny. I was just talking to one of my members yesterday, on Sunday, about the difference between even like D.C., Maryland, and then going north into Pennsylvania, New York, Connecticut, just like the whole different mentality and, the different way people show up and how they behave, versus like folk down in the South. And there's the South, and then there's the deep South, which is even different, more different. So,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So people like that. Tawana likes the fact that that church shuts down, and Robert says Baptists rarely. Baptists really. I thought you said Baptists rarely, but it's Baptists really disappear.
mm, mm.
Folk are gone. Glad to see everybody on social media this morning. Hit the share button as we get into our opinions of the news of the day. Nikki O'Tim. Rev, I'm from South Jersey and never understood the vacation at the shore. Really?
Yeah, because it's right there. It's
And you're
like,
from
why
South Jersey.
you going like 40 miles and you're like you're vacationing?
Yeah.
I get it. It's just like people in Philadelphia like going to the Poconos, right? It's not really that far. It's a day trip.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But look, I mean, I am a beach bum now. So when we do disappear to a beach for a week or so, it's like, bro, I'm like, by the time it's over, you kind of think like, is that guy homeless?
Mm.
Flip flops, not pressing my shirt. Just like,
Oh, now you
shaving.
sound like you're in Key West, but it's something different.
Yeah, exactly. So, man, I tell you, so a lot going on in the world around us, and one of the big things in Philadelphia is the question of, I mean, it's not just Philly. We say this all the time. Philly, I think, thinks it's just Philly, but gun violence has surged throughout the pandemic, and I think we talked, I mean, repeatedly about all the multiple reasons that is happening, but now there is a new push by a number of organizations, particularly Black organizations in the city, to have the mayor make a declaration of a state of emergency around gun violence. And I think this is partly inspired by what happened in New York State. I think the governor there declared it. The city has allocated new money. I mean, the mayor's office did a press release saying $150 million of new money, but we know that's not all new money.
Right.
But there is still about 70 or 80 million of that is actually new money, and that's not really the mayor's doing. That was thanks to the efforts of community groups putting pressure, and people like Councilman Kenyatta Johnson and Councilmember Helen Gim and others, Isaiah Thomas, and all of them really kind of putting the pressure to put that money into the budget. But so I don't know. I don't know. The state of emergency piece, I had a long conversation with with one of our community leaders this week about it. To me, there's a part of it that just seems performative, right? I don't think it hurts anything if the mayor declares it. It certainly can't hurt. But I guess my bigger question is, does it help? But I don't know if you've given this much thought at all, but I hadn't until I had that conversation this weekend.
So actually, Councilmember Jamie Gutierrez was the one who sent the mayor a letter asking for him to declare the state of emergency. And it was just reported in the Inquirer that he said no, and she responded back. I thought it was irresponsible on his part not to declare the state of emergency. I do hear the performative piece. I mean, the state of emergency would require certain things to happen. It would require an increase in funding, which, the mayor's claims has already happened. It would require coordination between, various groups and the city, which the mayor says is already happening. And there was a third piece, and I forgot what that was. But whatever it was already happening too. So the mayor said, it didn't really make sense to declare a state of emergency at that point because we're already doing the very things that a state of emergency would require. I think there's a bit of a challenge to this. Will Bunch from the Inquirer actually had a column about this over the weekend when he was talking about the fact that we need to do more around gun violence, but at the same time, not basically let the police, act any kind of way towards people, black and brown folk in the city of Philadelphia. And I think that that's part of what the concern is, that if you declare the state of emergency, you get the cops all hyped up, and then they start, increasing stop and frisk. They start increasing, brutality with people that they're interacting with, and that, everybody sees a gun now. And then that just becomes a problem and ruins, it doesn't ruin the relationship's already ruined between the community and the police, but it actually increases tension and creates more problems than it already exists. So I think that that's part of what we're, really contending with, that we need to have good, solid gun violence prevention programs, get the guns off the street, and at the same time, we cannot allow, policing to run amok, which is the big challenge. And I think if you declare a state of emergency, it almost sounds like you're declaring a police state at the same time, and I think that that's problematic.
See this, all right, so you put your finger right on, and I hadn't even seen Will Bunch's article, but in the conversation that I had, again, with one of our, one of our like really important community leaders, was that exact concern. I'm like, bro, listen, you're absolutely right that this ought to be treated like a state of emergency, whether it gets a declaration or not. And this is calling for all hands on deck. I mean, a 1-year-old was hit in the leg by a stray bullet, to the point where when the district attorney was doing his press conference about that yesterday, he breaks down in tears.
Yeah.
Trying to even talk about it. And I can't even imagine, other people, who are in hospitals right now, hospital staff, morticians. I mean, you're talking about all the other kind of, society supports that are there for families that go through this trauma. This is, it is happening at such a pace that, people cannot keep up right now. And so it just feels like it's out of control, and I get it. But I am deeply concerned that, again, when you say something like state of emergency, and you say we need all the troops we have on the ground, that language is heard differently in different parts. And so for those Facebook cops who are out there, posting anti-black, anti-Muslim, pretty much everything that's not like white male, hateful language, and who just hate us anyway, to give them carte blanche.
Right.
And
Absolutely.
say, here you go, because look, we're so desperate, we will let you do anything to us to stop this. I just feel like there is already so much overreach that they just take advantage.
Right. Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's the dilemma that the mayor is caught in. Yeah. And I think, you could say what you want to, the city and the community, but like you said, the police are going to hear it one way and act accordingly. And, the community is going to hear it another way. And it's just going to be very problematic.
Yeah. I mean, we are clearly in a state of emergency, and that's why we need to do a lot of the things that, we've lined out on this show so many times, that it's,
that's right.
It's where we are right now is it's somewhat predictable, right? If you probably go back and listen to like speeches that you and I made 10 years ago, 5 years ago, that you say, oh, they were actually right. And you're talking about cutting, funding to public education, and refusing to pay workers a living wage. And, it's just like on and on and on it builds. And then all of a sudden you get to the symptom. Well, I mean, it's like, you eat the wrong diet, then all of a sudden you like fall out and you stroke out. It's like, how did that happen? They had a stroke? It's like, come on now. Like literally, who didn't see this coming? Right? I mean, it's right. And so it's the same thing. So the city's having a stroke of gun violence right now. And to try to fix it now at the very end, it's not really how you do it.
Right.
Anyway, it's 6:20. We're going to behave this morning. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll continue this conversation. And hopefully we can have a conversation at some point about, I don't know, the Bezos-Branson thing, and which one is like larger, I guess, the spaceship. The spaceships. What? The spaceships. What are you talking about? We got to go to break. We'll be right back.
It's time to break free from whatever screen you've been glued to for the past year. backs up to get back to all the things you love about Philly. The city is ready for you. Go to ReadySetPhilly.com to plan your triumphant return.
Hi, this is John.
Hi, this is Juanita, owners of JD's Auto Body and Painting. We're located at 6300 Wayne Avenue, right there at the intersection of Wayne and Washington Lane.
We really like to thank all you WURD listeners for the support that you've given our business, and we really hope to see you in the future.
JD, tell them about our products and services we have.
We have a new state-of-the-art paint shop along with our body shop and detail shop. We can help you with the dents and scratches from the winter season.
Come to JD's Auto Body and Painting. Come on out and check us out. We're still honoring that WURD 10% discount. Give us a call, 215-848-5949. Again, 215-848-5949.
Thanks again for supporting our business. We really appreciate you.
See you at JD's Auto Body and Painting.
Whatever the world brings, we're always moving forward. Reinventing business, reimagining home, and re-emphasizing community. At PICO, we're redefining support, finding new ways to provide financial assistance, supporting opportunities for good jobs, and uplifting our communities. We're by your side through it all, because whatever the future holds, you're ready to take it on, and we're ready to power it. Find the support you need at pico.com.
For the past 10 years, Comcast has been helping students get ready. We've connected 5 million students from low-income families to low-cost, high-speed internet. We're working with both nonprofit partners and city leaders to create over 1,000 Wi-Fi connected lift zones in community centers nationwide. And now we're committing $1 billion to reach 50 million people with the connectivity, skills, training, and the resources they need to succeed in a digital world. Learn more at comcast.com/education.
This is not a fad for us.
We will not resume our regular programming when things die down. We're not black to help our bottom line or because it's politically correct. We're not joining a fight. This has been our fight, our message, our people. Black lives have always mattered here. We are
Undeniably,
indefatigably, unapologetically, permanently Black Talk Media.
WURD.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster along with Mark Kelly Tyler. We're here Monday through Fridays from 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. to bring you the latest in news, happenings around Philadelphia, and, of course, our opinion. Hey, WURD family, join WURD for the Summer Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. This year, we celebrate West Oak Lane, Mantua, North Philly, West and South Philly. Tiffany Bacon will broadcast live from a different neighborhood each Friday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The next stop is North Philly's Penrose Playground, 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue, Friday, July 23rd. Enjoy a special feature on the Summer Olympics. Meet special guests and stand with WURD. Be a part of the movement to amplify the voice of our black community. Show your support and join and renew your WURD membership on site. Join us as we broadcast from the Recreation Center at Penrose Playground from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. WURD showing love this summer. All right. So those of you that are available on Friday, go check out our colleague Tiffany Bankett and see her from 10 a.m. to noon at the Penrose Playground at 1101 West Susquehanna Avenue.
All right. I was listening to JD car commercial.
Yes.
Man, they're good.
They're good. They've done your work?
Unfortunately, twice.
Oh, you're a repeat customer. Okay.
Like, dang, Rev, you back? Hey, man, look, literally, it wasn't me. But no, I'm sorry, just as a total aside, I've been wanting to say that at some point, but JD, they are the truth. And yeah, man, they get you in, they get you out, and yeah, and they take care of you. Oh, bro. So one of the insurrectionists is in jail. He's convicted. Got he got an 8-month sentence.
8 months. 8 months. Wow. Big long sentence there.
I'm trying to find the story where McSwain, U.S. attorney, was going after the Philly activists
Yes.
One was he's a school teacher. He's active with BLM in Philly.
They had arrested him. They had him in jail for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, and they were trying to give him, they said he was connected to setting a police car on fire. Nobody was in the car. He denied that he was a part of that. But for that, I'm trying to find this. They were trying to throw the book at him. It was like a multi-year sentence if he had been convicted. Mm-hmm. And the same with one of the leaders in Asian Americans United.
The woman. Yes, I forgot her name.
Yeah, and so she had gone down to protest in front of the interim director of ICE's home. I think it is almost like the equivalent of like TP in somebody's house. It was like, it wasn't even, just like put signage or whatever on his lawn, and they tried to haul her back down for federal charges on that. And yet the first insurrectionist convicted of storming the United States Capitol, scaring the crap out of the United States Congress, gets a whopping 8-month slap on the hand.
Paul Hodgkins, he was from Florida. He was holding a Trump flag in the Senate chamber on January 6th.
Trying to overturn an election.
Yes, he was sentenced to 8 months in prison, followed by 24 months of supervised release on Monday. Wow.
Yeah, in fishing, don't they call that catch and release?
Yeah, pretty much. So, wow, yeah. The prosecutors only requested an 18-month sentence. I'm like, oh, wow. An insurrection only requires 18 months in jail. Check that out. I don't know. That doesn't seem very fair.
It's treason, is what it is. But again, I mean, and I don't need to, I'm looking at Facebook, Joe Simmons. I don't need to repeat or read your, white men don't care about black folks. I know it. I mean, in this country, it kind of speaks for itself, right? And I mean, and this is like case in point that you can storm the Capitol, get convicted, and do 8 months, be sentenced to 8 months, and I got to believe maybe he'll do 30 days.
So
he ain't gonna do 8 months.
Okay, wait. I gotta read this. So I'm reading Huffington Post, right? So Hodgkins told the judge he was truly remorseful and regretful of what he did on January 6th. He said he made a foolish decision and allowed himself to put his passion before his principles. He said, "I came to D.C. with the intention of supporting a president I loved." Hodgkins says, "The storming of the U.S. Capitol building is not something I had any idea would happen." Hodgkins says he does realize that my involvement did still contribute to the greater problem that took place. And he also said that he finally recognizes that President Joe Biden is rightfully, respectfully the president of the United States. Well, that's because a whole lot of these folk got mad because Trump basically let them out there crying. But storming the state Capitol just, seems like normal. Like, I didn't think this was going to happen. I'm carrying a Trump flag in the Senate chamber that I have no business being in. It's normal.
So here we are. I found the story with Max Swain earlier. So last year, this was following the killing of George Floyd and the protest activity that happened. And again, I'm not for destroying public or private property personally. It's not the way I protest. But let's put it all in perspective. But so Anthony Smith, and that's the activist that I was referring to, along with Carlos Matchett, Khalif Miller, Ayub Tabri, were all charged with counts of arson. And the way in which they were charged by McSwain, if they were convicted, they were to face a mandatory minimum of 7 years in federal prison. Maximum sentence of 65 years in prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release, not 24 months like you just read, and a fine of up to $750,000.
So the prosecutors in Hodges' case only requested an 18-month sentence, and the defense actually made the case that, and I think the judge might have heard this, is that we have to allow the country to heal. And so we need to, make this light so that the country can begin the process of healing. But black folk were upset, right? King said that the riots were the voices of the unheard, right? Speaking out. And I'm not saying any of those guys did it. I don't think they actually did. But the fact of the matter was, what about the healing for folk in the black community?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where's the healing for the folk that have been that were so angered and upset by the killing of Walter Wallace, the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, the killing of Breonna Taylor, the killing of George Floyd, the killing of Trayvon Martin, the killing of Mike Brown, the killing of Rika, I want to say, boy, it's not her last name, but, the killing of Sandra Bland. When we get upset about this stuff, nobody is talking about, well, we need to, figure out ways to, try to bring about healing. But when it's our folk that are out there rioting and protesting, they want to throw the book at us. When it's their folk out there rioting and protesting, they want to just heal the land.
Yeah.
There's a problem with that.
It all sounds very Civil War-ish to me.
Oh, we are in a Civil War. Let's not kid ourselves.
It might not historically. Historically. I'm talking about historically.
Yes.
No, remember the ways in which that the South, how they were treated, where it was, so we're, we know we should be harsh with these people who just, killed a whole lot of Northerners and, black folk as well. But instead, we're going to, for the healing of the nation, let's just make it all go away.
Yeah.
Let's just make it all go away. And let's see, Nancy Wynn, that's who it was, was over Viet lead. Nancy, remember, was arrested in front of her 1- and 3-year-old children. Mm-hmm. Snatched away for the crime of littering in front of the ICE director's home in Virginia at a protest.
Arrested for littering?
Oh, yeah, they came to Philly to arrest her for the crime of littering in Virginia.
Littering. So usually that's a fine, and you don't necessarily get arrested for it. You just get a fine. They mail it to you, or they give you a ticket. No.
They sent U.S. Marshals to get her.
Yes.
The Marshals.
Yes.
Like the ones from the movie Fugitive.
And littering is generally a local offense, not a federal offense.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, they sent the U.S. Marshal. I guess because she crossed state lines. Is that why they sent a marshal to get somebody for a $25 littering fine? I mean, is that what it was?
Yeah, and I'm trying to see what they were actually charging her up with, and what she was facing. I mean, now again, these things have been dropped, as far as I know, in both cases, after just a lot of pressure and backdoor negotiations or what have you. But the very idea that, that this is where the charging started, and that it was somehow acceptable for people of color who do these things, or accused of these things, I should say, that this is where it starts. And then yet we got you on video, bro, rocking a huge Trump sign. Ain't even a question of, did he do it? Did he not do it? You're there because y'all don't believe in wearing masks at that time. And so you rocking with your unmasked self, rolling, sitting in Nancy Pelosi's seat, ringing the gavel with a Minotaur outfit on and on and on and on and on. And yet we're already beginning to see now. So this is how it's going to be treated, basically like it was a youthful indiscretion. So it reminds me so much of growing up in Oakland, where it's like, so white kids get caught smoking weed or with a keg party, and it's just kids being kids. Black folk get caught smoking weed with a beer in a brown paper bag, and you get a felony.
Yeah. That's right. That's the way we was treated at college, too. I remember being in college.
That's America.
White kids had keggers, and, the cops, everybody knew it. And, underage drinking was going on, didn't say a word. I never forget, I had a pledge line going on at my sophomore year at BC, and I had the pledgees in my dorm. One of my fellow students came out, saw the guy sitting in the hall, called the police. I'm in my room. I hear the cops outside, talking with them, and they'd get ready to take them away. I had to go jump out there, and I had to call one of the sergeants, the only black officer in the police department at Boston College, and get him to get involved to prevent this whole thing from happening. Yeah, man, it's crazy. You know, just the depth that folk will go to try to make black folk criminals.
Hey, one last point on this. So Nikki O. Tim raised the question of, let's see how much time they're going to give the black guy who was in the Capitol. Now, he going to get some time. You know, the judge would be like, yours was egregious. It was egregious for you to think that you could be like these white people running up in here. What is wrong with you? Jail for you. He's going to send you to real prison.
Well,
Lord.
I mean, it actually would be an interesting scenario, right? Because there were actually black folk, there were Asian folk. I mean, very few black folk. There were some Asian folk there. There were white folk that were there. There were some Latinx folk there. It would be interesting to compare the sentences for every person that was there based on race.
Yeah. They've done that study. It was called Crack versus Powder Cocaine.
Yeah.
And we know how that turned out, right?
Yeah, race and gender. We should add race and gender. Right. It turned out that black folk got a whole lot more sentences and a whole lot more felonies.
Whew.
Of course, the folk using the powder cocaine tended to be lawyers, so they were able to work that thing out.
Right. I mean, well, you know, again, it's just, but again, you know, we're just making this a black thing, right? I'm just making this a black thing. I know that's what some of you think. It's like, oh, you just make everything a black thing. So the system is showing compassion, and now you're saying it's just a black thing. I think it should show compassion. The problem is it doesn't usually show it to us.
Right.
Because remember, again, as Tawanda always says, we can take more pain. You can handle it. Put on those broad black shoulders of yours and carry it. Anyway, so what do you make of this Jeff Bezos? He's taken off in about 2.5 hours. Have you seen the spaceship, by the way?
I haven't seen the spaceship. I know
Take
about
a look
the story because I know
look at it.
He and Richard Branson.
Just look at it real quick. Tell me, what does it look like?
Look, I mean, does it look like a phallic symbol? Is that what you're trying
Just
to
look at it. I mean, you know, it was early in the morning when I saw it.
I'm trying to pull it up.
So Branson has already gone to space, and he's like, they're both about to start charging, you know, millionaires to go up on these joy rides. What's interesting about Bezos's trip is today, I guess he's like fully committed to this. I told you. Hey, I ain't no mistaking what that thing's supposed to be for him. I'm like, Bezos, you could have shaped it anyway, and like literally that's what it looks like. Okay. All right. Yeah. I mean, you may as well, like, you know, I'm sure he drives like a huge SUV or something with, like, you know, 40-inch rims. Jeff Bezos. Mackenzie is probably looking like, I told y'all.
But here's the thing. Okay.
I told y'all.
But wait a minute. So this story actually gets deeper than this. So Bezos had already announced what he was going up.
Okay.
Right? And Branson had planned on going up. Branson heard when Bezos was going up and moved his flight up to go earlier so that he could get up before Jeff Bezos. So that is, you know, that's the funny part about this, right? Is like even grown men who are billionaires are still in high school. Right? They're still in high school. And then everybody, Elon Musk was at the launch of Branson's flight, and everybody's asking, you know, Musk, because Musk owns SpaceX, right? So Musk is taking up things, and you know they're sending all these flights up into space. They were asking Musk about when he was going up, and he was like, "I'm just here to support these guys right now," because Musk will probably actually have the first fully viable commercial trips to space, because they're years ahead in terms of research, development, and everything that they've been doing with their capsules.
Wow, they're just channeling their inner Andrew Carnegie versus John D. Rockefeller rivalry. Let's bring that back, because that's what we need to see publicly. You know, more of this stuff. Not not fighting to compete to, as I've seen a lot of my friends post, in hunger, in poverty, I don't know, something a little bit more noble. But no, we want to race to get up in space. So for 15 seconds, we can float around weightless and look like a bunch of idiots and then come back down to Earth and talk about how cool it was. I'm like, has there ever been like more of a waste of time? They're just like ridiculous. But I was saying earlier, so Bezos, he's committed to like drones delivering packages for Amazon. And so keeping in that spirit, unlike Branson's flight, which was piloted by 2 professional pilots, Bezos's trip in a few hours will have no pilot on board. It's going to all be controlled by the ground.
Wow.
Good luck. We got to take a break. It's 6:42. And if you got several $1 million you just want to waste, you too can go up in the sky, float around and come back down.
15 minutes. It's only 15 minutes.
I like to see that menu up there. I'm sorry, because of the short duration of the flight, we won't be serving anything, but we will give you a drink before you take off. We'll be right back. This is the Power Hour.
Hey, WURD family, did you hear? It's official. The Colorectal Cancer Alliance just announced the new age for colon cancer screenings has been officially lowered to age 45 for everyone. If you are 45 or older, it's time to get screened. Go to wordradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner to register for your free at-home screening test. Did you know colon cancer is largely preventable with on-time screening? And there's a 90% survival rate when caught early. African Americans are 20% more likely to get colon cancer and about 40% more likely to die from it than most other groups. So for the next 3 months, you can go to wordradio.com and click on the Go to Know banner for your free at-home screening test. A screening navigator will contact you to ask a few questions and help you get screened. It's that simple. Again, just go to wordradio.com, click on the Go to Know banner, and fill out the form to request your free at-home screening test. Go to Know today.
What's up, Philly? It's Sincerely Sarita. With so much uncertainty surrounding the upcoming school year, now is the time to take charge of your child's education and give them the tools to make learning fun and safe. Check out Commonwealth Charter Academy, which can make a difference in your child's life. Commonwealth Charter Academy, or CCA, is a K-12 public cyber charter school with nearly 20 years of experience providing a flexible, stable, online education in the comfort of your home. Enroll today at ccaeducate.me. Your child will receive 1. A world-class accredited education streamed directly into your home at no cost to you. 2. A laptop, headphones, assistance with accessing the internet, and learning materials, all provided at no cost to you. 3. A safe learning environment with no bullying or security concerns. Join the nearly 2,500 students from Philly who already attend CCA. The school year begins September 8th. Enroll now at ccaeducate.me.
Join Nick Taliaferro Wednesday, July 21st at 5 p.m. for a very special simulcast conversation on WURD and WVON Radio in Chicago. Hosted by WURD's own Nick Taliaferro and WVON's Matt McGill and Kimberly E. Goen on the impact of violence in Philadelphia and Chicago. That's Wednesday, July 21st at 5 p.m. exclusively on WURD Radio and WURDradio.com. Simulcast on WVON. 2 of the only black-owned talk radio stations in the nation join forces for a powerful and timely conversation.
Thinking about retirement? Make sure a My Social Security account is a part of your plan. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can find out if you're eligible to receive benefits, compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates, view spousal benefit estimates, and more. Plan for your future. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Are you looking to hire diverse talent? WURD has got you covered. We just launched a brand new job portal to help connect you with diverse talent in Philadelphia and beyond. If you would like to have your jobs featured on our job portal, give us a call at 215-425-7875 or send us an email at sales@wordradio.com. Check out the job portal today on our livelihood website at wordworks.com. That's WURDworks.com and click jobs.
Now, a traffic update
on WURD Radio.
Good morning. This report sponsored by Smart Mouth, the only 24-hour mouthwash with twice daily use. Volume up, getting busy. Schuylkill Expressway westbound from Broad to Passyunk. Heavy through construction. Eastbound still looks pretty good. Westbound by 8th out to Broad. Slogan Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Southbound I-95. That's beginning the jam. Common down the bridge through construction. Again, Betsy Ross through Girard. Northbound 95 in Delaware County. Heavy now from the Commodore Valley Bridge through Kirtland Street because of Center Lane construction. 55 northbound, getting heavy there from Deptford in the 42. There's nothing that'll scare the date away faster than bad breath. Luckily, Smart Mouth mouthwash has got your back for 24 full hours with 2 rinses a day. Find Smart Mouth in the mouthwash aisle at CVS or visit smartmouth.com to find the retailer near you. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
Sunny skies on a hot summer day today. 92 the high this afternoon. Low of 72 Wednesday morning. We'll see sunshine in the morning, but clouds popping up in the afternoon with a cold front bringing us a few showers and a possibility of some thunderstorms. High near 90 on Wednesday. Once the cold front passes by, dry, comfortable air arrives for Thursday. Partly sunny and 85 the high. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. This is Dwayne Royster and Mark Kelly Tyler. So, did you hear this story about what happened in Texas? I think we should just have a new segment called Texas Lows.
Or I like the way you phrased it. What happened in Texas? Or a segment called "Did you see what happened in Texas?"
So, Texas Senate passed a bill to eliminate a requirement that public schools teach that the Ku Klux Klan and its white supremacist campaign of terror are morally wrong. So that now they're going to start teaching that the Ku Klux Klan was morally neutral and that there were good things to glean from the Klan. They also are they're also eliminating requirements that students be taught the history of white supremacy, including but not limited to the institutions of slavery, the eugenics movement, the Ku Klux Klans, and the ways in which they're morally wrong. So now they can teach eugenics, and they can teach that there was nothing wrong with the Klan, and that they're totally okay with all of those things, but they cannot be taught the history of white supremacy. So all these things they can learn about, but they have to learn about it in an ambiguous way or in a way that reinforces that there were some positive things that came out of these pieces. So they're killing critical race theory, but they're now allowing, white supremacy to run amok, and that all these things are just acceptable one way or the other. This is Texas.
So,
and this is from Huffington Post. I got this article from the Huffington Post. I just want to clarify that.
Yeah. So basically, what you're saying is Morgan Freeman is writing their curriculum now. Is that what you're saying?
Could be. Why would you say Morgan Freeman is writing their curriculum?
You don't remember the story about Morgan Freeman on Don Lemon's show? Morgan Freeman says that there is no race problem. In the case, there's like the one person who's listening this morning who doesn't know who Morgan Freeman is. Basically, turn on any movie and you're going to see two things. You're gonna see Sam Jackson doing something,
right?
And you're gonna hear Morgan Freeman's voice as the narrator. So I mean, pretty much like 1 out of every 10 movies has like that combination.
Right.
But Morgan Freeman, the voice of God, so to speak, one of the most popular black actors in America, said that the problem with race is we keep talking about it. So Don Lemon was looking like, oh, whoa, you kind of got me with that one, sir.
Come on, easy reader. You got to do better than that.
like, I'm sorry, you said what? And he said, yeah, see, if you don't talk about it, it's gone. See, no race problem. I'm not talking about it. It's gone. So Morgan Freeman basically is developing the Texas curriculum for white supremacists. and they've together, I guess, figured out how to fix this.
I'm very sorry.
Just don't talk about it.
I'm very sorry to hear the Easy Reader did that. For a lot of people don't know that on the electric company, Morgan Freeman was Easy Reader for back in the 1970s, late 60s, early 70s, just to let you know. So here's the thing. Yeah. This again, this is coming out of Huffington Post. It also retains language that teachers may not be compelled to discuss current events or controversial issues of public policy or social affairs, and if they do, they can't give deference to any one perspective.
So basically, they know that they have a losing proposition, and that their case is so weak that now the only way that you can, like, quote unquote, win is to just stop talking about it.
Well, I mean, basically, they're going to bind teachers' hands and not talking about any of these issues. So you're exactly right. I mean, they're allowed to talk about it, but they have to talk about it fairly. So they have to talk about the good people at the insurrection and the bad people, or that there were good people on both sides. So really, it's a Trump-esque, very much, Trump-esque bill. Now, luckily, the House, the Texas House is still out because all the Democrats are in D.C. trying to fight the voting bill that they're trying to pass down there. But what's happening is that a lot of people are focusing in on the fact that Greg Abbott, who's the governor of Texas, has called a special session of their Texas legislature for the purposes of dealing with the voting rights bill, but he's actually dealing with these critical race theory issues at the same time. So it's a combination of the two, but the voting rights gets more attention. And so this is what they're doing during the special session. They are also, trying to, bang out and address issues. It's actually going to be really interesting because we're going to have children coming out of Texas, white, black, Mexican, Latinx, variety of folk coming out of Texas who are going to be poorly undereducated.
Oh my God. That's so crazy. I mean, but it's so Texas. It's so Texas. Part of my family's from Texas.
Well, I mean, but interesting enough, some of these same laws that they're creating in Texas are actually being debated here in Pennsylvania right now. I mean, the legislature's out this summer, but they'll be back. And they're going to be dealing with this in September when they get back. These laws are not just in Texas. They're coming here as well. And they will pass. And the only thing that prevents them from actually being made law is that Governor Wolf will veto them. And that's it.
They used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. Yes. Joe Clark is out there. If they were smart, they would enlist him. I shouldn't even say this. They may actually do it. But they should enlist. They would pay Morgan Freeman to be the face of this crap.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's so ridiculous. It's so ludicrous that you think that you can get rid of it. It's like, you know what the problem is with domestic violence? We keep talking about it.
Yeah.
It's not that people keep putting hands on each other. It's we just keep talking about it. It'll go away. You know what the problem with rape is? We keep talking about it. You know the gun violence problem? We don't need a state of emergency. We just need to quit talking about it. I'm like, come on, man. Like, in what world does that make any sense? That's just crazy. And by the way, I know we're at the end of the show, but Gary wants to know, will we be upset if going back to the earlier story about the insurrectionist who was convicted, given a little short 8-month sentence, and we were talking about the one black guy who prominently, kind of looked like Jay-Z, prominently there in the Capitol with them. He says, will we be upset if the black insurrectionist gets more time, I guess, than his white colleagues? No. Because somebody's mama told him don't do that.
Right.
Good Lord.
All right, everybody. Well, that's it for today, this edition of the Power Hour. We greatly appreciate you being here with us today, and thank you for checking us out through the various means that you have done so this day. We want you to stay tuned now for Wake Up with Word with Solomon Jones. And family,
they got a guest. They got a guest today.
Who's got a guest?
He said got a guest host.
Oh, who's guest host?
You missed the text. Renee. Renee.
Renee Fatah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we welcome Renee Fatah to the Wake Up with Word show this morning. So y'all check that out. And listen, family, do us a favor. Go out, change the damn world, because if you don't, nobody else will. Peace.
Oh, I got